Hello, good morning, guys. How's it going? How's everything been going for you guys? What is currently happening? I just came in a bit early, so spent a few minutes trying to get everything going. Let's see what's currently happening in the world. Make sure to drop in and do all the stuff that you need to. Just gonna go and see if a few things are working well for us. Oops. Oh, damn. Ah, get this out. Okay, let's just go over a few things. Everything's looking good. I think you guys can see me clearly, hear me clearly. Seems okay for now. Don't see any problem at the moment. All looking good. I don't know if you guys can see the background or you can see a green screen. I mean, I got rid of it. So, anyways, that's that. What are we at? Episode 20 almost? Oh, 19. Okay, not bad. We're getting somewhere. It's a start. So this is going to be fun. We're getting the Trump and Elon fight going on pretty much. That's something that's been currently going on pretty crazy. We're trying to see who's going to win there. Elon's been saying that he's looking forward to the big beautiful bill that is not really, it's an abomination. So at this moment I'm not really sure whether they're friends or foes yet, but looking that way that it's going to get pretty ugly. Anyways, for everyone that's new, go ahead, subscribe, go ahead, just say hi to everyone, get into the chat, and we should be live pretty soon. And everything looks good though, by the way. So all of that's great at the moment. Just drop in, say hi, put into the comments. We should start in a minute or two. We've already got a few people in, so it was actually a pretty good day. Nothing to really complain about. You did see a small fall when we had the OECD come out and say that it's basically their US growth forecast is coming lower. I mean, there's no one that I know who's not saying that the US growth forecast is lower at the moment. So that caused the market to come down a bit. In the start, you saw some kind of a fall, started dipping lower, stayed there, and towards the end of the market, as soon as I think they were clear that you are going to be getting your steel and aluminum tariffs coming in, and that's when the market started reversing, started heading higher. I think one of the things that happened was that UK was still getting a 25% tariff, and that was kind of good news. So nothing much to see here at the moment, what I'm able to see is that a few of the stocks, like I was looking at a few of the high beta names, most of the stocks that have done well in the past few days or weeks are the ones that have now slowed down a bit as of yesterday. And you're seeing a few beaten down names coming back up again. So high beta was doing okay. I know one of our OGs, Jason, was looking at, or I think Kevin was looking at Robinhood as well. Robinhood's now gone to 71. I mean, it's just flying, literally flying. It's now a $63 billion business as well. So that's saying something, right? But I saw a few of them, like, some of these stocks like Reddit and all of that, they start picking up in early trade and then they came back lower down and they started staying lower. So anyways, that's been currently happening. You did see, so just a brief, let's go episode 19. You're looking at the Dow that went up about 200 points. You're looking at the Nasdaq up about 0.8%. You're looking at the S&P 500 up about 0.5%, which was not bad. I think the big bellwether in this whole thing and the one that's changing everything here in terms of a landscape change is the Russell 2000. The Russell 2000 is up about 1.59% as of close, right? That basically means that there's a lot of small cap movement that's currently being seen when it comes to equity markets heading higher. Keep in mind, there was one thing that I was also looking at yesterday was the effect that crypto not going up, US bond yields going up, which continued as of yesterday. You still have the 10-year yield at 4.45, but till the time it plays around in that range, it's all fair game. No worries about that. So crypto has been staying steady. It's not yet picked up massively. It stayed there. You did see gold have a huge day yesterday, day before yesterday, came back lower at about 1% lower yesterday, so nothing crazy that happened. Flat today. Silver's the one that's been picking up. Now keep this in mind, every time you do think of economic activity picking up in the world, you are going to start seeing silver do very well, right? So silver is required for industrial purposes. Silver is required for a lot of stuff that's needed. So that's just something that you should always look at when it comes to silver. And what else has been happening? I mean, other than the nonsense that's been going on in the White House and Elon, let's try seeing if there's anything else that's currently happening. Uranium picked up. Uranium has been on a run. I still remember looking at it around the $20 levels, and now it's already at like 32. So uranium's been doing pretty well. That's one commodity that's been doing decently well, I would say. Right? I mean, 20 going all the way to 32 for a commodity is a huge move. Are we seeing anything on? I think it's a bit delayed on the Chinese markets, but as of now, nothing too fancy. Nothing too great's been happening with that. Anyways, we'll just wait for like more people to join in and then we can continue. So these Chinese stocks, they've just been randomly just staying there. Nothing incredible's happened. Pinduoduo, the guy that was running Temu, has just been dying out and lying pretty much to dead in quite a while. I mean, this has been since October of 2023 that it's just been there. Been not seen any big move on it. It's just been moving around right there. Anyways, go ahead, just say hi in the comments. Let's just get our evening pleasantries aside and then we can start seeing what else is happening in the world. did have a good move on the breadth thrust. The Russell 2000 had 11% move on the stocks that are above their 200-day moving average. Nasdaq's also had a good move. I think if we start seeing somewhere around those 77, 80 levels on the Nasdaq towards the tops of the number of stocks crossing above the 200-day moving average, that would be something to keep in mind. The housing index as of now has been pretty bad. I mean, it's up down about 35%, not seen a rally. It's just been, in this rally of the stock market, housing's not been a part of it. So nothing great's been happening on that front. At least housing's been pretty dead. Like, I mean, from whatever I hear as well, it's been pretty much something that no one has been spending time on. Housing is just completely flattened out. There is no activity happening at the moment, especially with the 10-year bond yield being so, I would say, steady, if not going higher and if not going lower. Anyways, let's go over a few things. Anyways, drop in, say hi. Let me know where you guys are from, what's currently happening. I'm just going to go over a few things that I've been seeing in the market right now. So AMC has agreed to run more advertising in its theaters, including a platinum spot shown right before the start of a movie starting July 1st. I think they're trying to make some money through advertising. They've been in pretty much of a mess right now, so they want to get out of there. Rather than going into bankruptcy, at least they can get out of it and do something about it, right? So that's been currently happening. So Elon did come out and say, Elon Musk called President Trump's big beautiful tax and spending package a disgusting abomination, stepping up criticism just as the Senate is trying to quickly pass the measure and get it signed into law by July 4th. So we seem to be having the best friendship that two people could have had in the White House now becoming an issue. I don't know how that's going to happen when it comes to Tesla stock as well as to, I mean, actually see what happened to Tesla stock. That would be actually, I was up about 0.4%. It's not yet being affected because I think they'll sort their stuff out. Plus, it starts getting a little bit more uglier than usual. That could then be an issue, right? Buying a home is at least 30% harder today than it was a decade ago. Okay. Okay, let's go over a few things. Let's see what else is happening. I think everyone should join in a bit. We usually do this every day at about 7:30 Eastern. So join in for these live talks. Comes at about 7:30 US time, New York City time. So join in, just drop in, say hi, subscribe, comment, do whatever you want. Let's go see what else is happening in this world. Right, I did see that the dollar was not actually doing pretty fascinating. It was just there. Right, it was up about 0.5%, but I actually have a feeling that the dollar index is going to make a low for a bit. I don't see that they're going to be causing too much of an issue for the markets. I think the dollar index necessarily does not need to stay the way it is. It can head a lot higher. So that's something that I'm watching, because if the dollar starts staying steady or starts going higher, you can see the bond yields heading lower as well. let's go and see a few more things. Let's see what else is happening, right? Oh, damn, the New York Knicks coach is now told to bounce. Fired the coach. Okay, cool. I thought he was doing a decent job, but okay. You don't win, you don't stay. That's the mindset. Okay. So Nvidia did close as the world's largest company. So that's one good news elsewhere as well. Warner Brothers shareholders rejected the multi-million-dollar pay packages of David Zaslav and his leadership team. So fair enough. Truth Social files for Bitcoin ETF. I'm not really sure what's happening with that. It's just so much of news, right? It's crazy. I want to see what happened to the Wells Fargo stock. Let me actually go and see what happened there. All right. So 2.82% move in extended hours, 79.33, 77.78. So I'm guessing it had a decent move, and it should pretty much be heading into all-time highs for Wells Fargo. Right, it's up about $246 billion in market cap. So looks good. And they had their issues that they had with the Federal Reserve, that's pretty much sorted out. And hey Matt, how's it going? And the Federal Reserve lifts the asset cap restrictions on Wells Fargo after 7 years, and that's currently been there. Yeah, nice to see you messaging me from there, buddy. Not bad. Wouldn't be the only one, I'm pretty sure. Okay, let me go see. Apparently they're saying that Trump is going to be speaking with Xi on Friday. So yeah, let's see. I don't know if Xi knows about that, but if he does, then great. So that's something. What was fascinating was Elon saying that SpaceX is set to pull in around 15.5 billion this year, with 1.1 billion coming from NASA. That means most of the revenue that now comes from commercial space and Starlink, more than NASA's entire budget. So that's actually fun, because now that basically means that maybe SpaceX is on its way to just being good enough to keep growing by itself. They don't really need NASA's help anymore, and that it's looking that way, right? It's not rocket science. You can pretty much see that happen. Okay, let's go over a few more things. Let's see what else is happening. What else is currently going on? So yeah, Netflix, Snowflake, CrowdStrike, Spotify, all of these, Palantir, Broadcom, all of these hitting 52-week highs today. Some point today. The BLS says there's corrections coming to the past jobs report. Many numbers are to be corrected, but the impact is negligible. Okay. That would be fun to actually see what the hell is going on with those jobs report numbers, especially considering it's coming out on Friday, right? Today, I think we should be getting ADP's numbers, and Friday we should be getting our non-farm payroll numbers. That would play out in a way where we would now be able to see what the hell is exactly happening with the jobs data. The job openings that came out yesterday, 7.3 million, 7.4 million, that's okay. That's par for the course. It's not too much to worry about. If there was a lot of job openings to drop, that would have been an issue, right? Considering the fact that there are job openings, at least in a scenario, because everybody around the world was currently saying that we're entering a stage where people would be losing their jobs and not having basically any of these job openings to fill. So you're going to have a lot of job openings and no one to fill it, or you're going to have a lot of job losses and only people available and no job openings. So that story is ended because pretty much you're seeing all sides of the coin now in place where you are currently seeing job openings available, as well as if people do lose their jobs, they have jobs to go to. The thing is, it's been a slow hiring phase. You don't get your job very easily. You don't get your job like every, you're not going to lose your job and try getting a new job within 6 weeks. It's taking a lot longer. So that's something that I'm looking out for. Okay, Deutsche Bank raises S&P 500 target to 6550 for 2025. Now, I mean, a lot of these banks, what they try doing is raising their targets once the market's already higher, and then they drop it once it's already lower. So don't waste your time with all of this. Apparently, they realize now that Trump is easing up on their tariff plans, and they've lifted their year-end S&P 500 target from 6150 to 6550. So that's currently been happening. Now let's actually see what's happening here. So Nvidia retook the crown as the largest company in the world, passing Microsoft. Okay. I still think that it's going to be going towards its 4 trillion number. I actually have a feeling that this month we might see Nvidia make a new high, a new all-time high. Possible. I mean, if things work out pretty well for them, it's not unlikely. Murder rates plummet under President Trump. I guess deporting all of those illegal immigrants is helping. So, or all of those criminals or illegal, whatever they were. It's just going to reduce that, right? Speaker Johnson says that Musk is terribly wrong about the tax bill. So, yeah. Let's actually go down and see if there's anything. Demand for construction and manufacturing labor, as measured by job openings, has been soft but didn't worsen much in April. Okay. So, I think a lot of people were expecting demand for construction and manufacturing labor to actually go lower. I think with the steel and aluminum tariffs, you are going to see a lot more jobs being created within that sector. That's going to lead to some amount of steel and aluminum pricing that would be beneficial for America. I'm not sure how companies would or countries would retaliate to that, but at the moment, it's not going to be, no one's retaliated yet, but that doesn't mean they won't. So, quite possible that can happen. All right. Elon comes out and says Congress is making America bankrupt. Great. Okay. Disgusting abomination. That's the word today. Let me put this out there. Trump's going to be signing the executive order to double steel and aluminum tariffs, and that actually has happened. So that's that, right? Go ahead and vote, guys. Put in all of your choices. Do you think Elon's going to win this or Trump's going to win this? I want to actually go ahead and see what's happening here. Trump's going to be speaking with President Xi on Friday. So I think over the weekend, my bet is that you will see good news coming out of President Trump rather than bad news. He's not going to be like, because he's already been saying that, oh, he's my best friend. I've been great friends with him. We've been doing pretty well. So that's something that's been playing on his head, right? So I don't really think that that's going to happen, right? Oh, nice to see you. Thanks for tuning in. So coming back to the Trump story, right? What's happening is that they're going to be speaking on Friday. Trump's been saying that he and Xi are very close and they have a great relationship, right? From what I understand, it's a very unlikely scenario under which Trump on Friday after his call, even if it's a bad call, he is not going to let the world know over the weekend that the call went bad. He doesn't like President Xi anymore because he has to stick to his word. So he's going to stick to his word. Whatever President Xi does, he does. But you know what's going to happen? None of us are going to be believing a tweet that comes out of China. We're all going to be looking at the tweet that comes out of the White House. And that tweet, according to me, over the weekend is going to be bullish. It's going to be like, we're back to making great progress and any of that. That could be the trigger to heading into all-time highs next week, if not this week, right? So look at that. It's something to look at purely from the aspect that the Trump Xi call would necessarily be very bullish for the market. It would necessarily be less uncertainty, because the thing is, whatever is stopping them from getting a deal done now will be spoken between the two of them. But what is more important is not the deal happening, it's the steps to getting the deal happen. And the steps to getting that deal happen will require these two guys to get on a call and Trump to tweet to all of us and let us know that how great the call is and how great their friendship is and how things are working out. Now, what happens behind the scene, nobody knows, but that's the tweet that he's going to come out with. It's far too unlikely for me to believe that the tweet that he's going to be coming out with is that I had a horrible call, things don't look like it's going to work out, and I'm going to double tariffs on China from tomorrow morning, right? Could that happen? Yes, everything can happen in this world. But is that a possibility or a probability? I would say negligible percentage at this moment. Doesn't look like any of that's going to be happening, because it's just not the way he's portrayed himself to the public. And remember, if you can understand Trump's portrayal of himself and what he's interested in, that has more likely a stronger influence on equity markets, right? Whatever he said, he's done. Let's be honest about that. The way he did it may or may not have been great, may or may not have been the perfect way to do it. But let me be honest that it's currently what's happening, right? We have this is the way, these are the cards we're dealt with, right? So we'll play the game the way we're dealt with what cards we have. So that's just something that's currently been going on in my head, saying that if there is a call that actually happens, I honestly do believe that that's going to be a exceedingly bullish outcome rather than a bearish outcome. Because at the back of it, the USTR, Jameson Greer and Scott Bessent are pretty much working on trying to get the deal done. So they're working behind the scenes. This guy just needs to make the call and be like, hey, let's speed it up. So Trump's going to be going to the NATO summit, great, on track for good deals. And they have these trade deal negotiations in which the offers need to be given by Wednesday, right? Because you're pretty much getting only a month away from the expiry of the 90-day retaliatory tariffs and reciprocal and all of these tariffs that were there, all right? So that's something been happening. I've started seeing the Federal Reserve chairmans, not the chairman, but the presidents, getting a bit iffy. They've always been saying that they're waiting for better data, waiting for better news to come out, and only then they're going to react and act and all of that. But from what I'm seeing is that at this moment, some of the things that are happening, they are beginning to seem a little bearish, right? Federal Reserve's President Austin Goolsbee, he's pretty much been a dove for the longest time that I know. And he's been saying it will have a direct effect on prices within a month. So, not sure how that works, but let's see what happens with that, right? I mean, there's depressed CEO confidence driven by the continued significant policy uncertainty. I think that shit's been going on for quite a while now. The thing is not that there's depressed CEO confidence. The thing is that when there's a recovery that happens, our stock price is lower or higher, right? They're going to be a lot higher purely because of the market's already gone up. But the second thing is that now if people start getting bullish, CEOs start getting bullish, everyone's that on the sidelines comes back in to buy stocks. And that's too late for you to be buying stocks. So you got to buy stocks a lot earlier, right? The same story. Federal Reserve's Goolsbee says we could see a direct tariff effect on prices within a month. We have to wait and see if tariffs have a big or small inflation impact. Federal Reserve's Cook says evidence trade policy is now affecting the economy. Trade policy may make it harder to get inflation lower. Not sure. I have zero clue what's going to happen on that front, but one thing that I am looking at is how bad could this get? Because that's going to be more important to me than everything else. Do you see any form of deterioration in economic and trade policies in economic data that is going to be coming out? That could kill the equity market rally. So just keep in mind when it comes to those things. Anyways, go ahead, subscribe, comment, let me know if you guys have any questions. Don't see any of these any reason at the moment other than I think if the Trump and Xi call does not go well, I think that would be the only reason why stock prices could get affected. Otherwise, I don't see a reason why any of this is going to be a problem. Okay, go ahead and let me know if you guys have any of those questions. It's not been a too crazy of a day, but we can shortly go and see a few things, right? I did see the USD JPY staying steady at about 143,845, right? Let me try seeing if I can keep this here. How does it look for you guys here? Right. So this is something that I've been looking at, and let me actually see what is currently going on here. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Now you guys can see me. That's a lot more clear. Yeah, so that's that. The USD JPY does look like it's holding on pretty steady. So that's not something to worry about at this moment. I am watching for what happens with silver. Silver would be pretty much a bellwether to knowing how economic movements are happening in stocks, how the economy is performing. Silver usually does exceedingly well when you have a booming economic environment. It's required for industrial purposes as well as for a lot of the other stuff. So that's actually a good sign if that happens. Let me just go over and see what else is happening in this world. At this moment, there's nothing. So you guys want to chat about something, drop in. Ask me whatever questions you guys have. We'll go over those. Otherwise, the day's been pretty boring. We haven't really seen too much of moves. So I think we're going to have this all the way till earnings report come out. So you're going to see, sorry, not earnings, but economic data that comes out from the non-farm payroll and the unemployment rate. So crazy, nothing too fancy, right? Absolutely nothing too fancy to talk about. So drop in, say hi, ask your questions, whatever it is. Let's go over a few things that you have on your mind. Some of the stuff that I've been looking at is just the stuff that I was talking about yesterday, which is just the way the tariffs are currently working out, as well as the way that I'm currently seeing all of the movements that are currently happening. Right. Let's go over. I won't keep this too long today. Maybe like just 15 minutes more. We see someone coming in asking a few questions, we'll go ahead. Otherwise, we'll just call it quits. And I don't want to usually unnecessarily just take up time when we're not going to be getting too much of. Yeah, let me actually see if I can do some of this stuff. Yeah, so it's been pretty dead. It's not. I mean, in my belief that it should be pretty much a boring week. I don't even think the economic data is going to make that much of a difference. I think we're just going to continue rallying for the weeks ahead. Might have some form of a pullback, but it's nothing too much to worry about, and neither is it too much to keep going into. It's not something that's going to cause too much of a harm to anyone at this moment. The volatility index is down to 17. So, I mean, at 17, it's a bull market. Let me just be clear about it. There's zero reason to see as to why it wouldn't be a bull market. Absolutely zero. It is the proper definition of a bull market. Anyways, say hi or ask me whatever questions you have. We'll do that. It's been a pretty boring day, other than the fact about the Elon and Trump scenario. That's going to be a lot of fun because I want to see what happens there, especially with the Elon Trump fights. I think it might get messier as we get closer to the bill being signed, because Elon's going to make his case pretty clear about him not liking it. And I think Trump's not going to care about that because he just wants the bill to pass. At the end of the day, one's a business guy, one's a politician. So, and one's the president as well. So, you can't say much to that. But it's looking pretty cool because I'm of the opinion that Elon and Trump is going to become a bigger hassle, and it's going to get pretty messed up. That's not going to be something that's going to hold on to for too long. But let's see. At the moment, I'm still not sure if it's going to be, if it's going to go in Elon's favor. My bet is it's going to still go into Trump's favor. Trump's going to just do what he wants. He's already moved Elon aside. So I think that's keeping a lot of the guys at the White House who didn't really like Elon that much, any which ways, it's keeping them on the sides as well. So yeah, that's today's story because it's not looking like anything great's going to happen. But go ahead, make sure you guys subscribe. We're going to try getting to 100 subscribers. So let's see what's happening there. Xander, buddy. Xander Phillips from South Dakota. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe, buddy. And let me just go over and figure a few of these things out. Pretty hot day here, so I see maybe new highs coming on to, I think even Nvidia, if it breaks its 144 level, I think we should start seeing somewhere around the 147s, 148s, maybe even 150s coming for Nvidia. Yeah, I think that's pretty much possible. Don't think it's not going to be possible for Nvidia to do that. So, yep. So at this moment, we're still looking like it's going to be a pretty bad day for today. So let's do one thing. Let's call it quits on the live. Let me go back to my work, and maybe we'll tune in again in the afternoon sometime. So for everyone that's new, go ahead, subscribe. Make sure you guys join in for tomorrow as well. Look forward to you guys joining in. I'm just going to run away and get some work done, but make sure you guys are subscribing, and let's talk about stuff pretty soon. Okay, guys? Take care of yourselves. Enjoy.